Welcome to the newest video up on the channel. This is Iconic Repaints, and today is going to be a little different than the norm. So far, I've only shown off my repaints on Funko Pops, but today I'm going to show one of my earliest paintworks on something that isn't Funko related. In this video, I'm going to present the X-Plus Yuji Sakai Godzilla 2002 from the Toho film Godzilla X Mechagodzilla. The Millennium series of Godzilla films, they were pretty isolated from the overall lore and continuity of the story of the previous films. So what happens here is, I'll try to sum it up as fast as I can, but Japan has a recorded history of monster attacks since the first Godzilla appeared in 1954. That Godzilla was eventually killed by a chemical compound by a scientist that sacrificed himself with that weapon when it was used on Godzilla so that no one else would be able to learn how to make it. So thankfully for Japan, many of the other monsters are dealt with by advanced weaponry created by a kaiju-focused military organization developed to fight these creatures off. However, they are not having that same success against Godzilla, and they do not know what to do. So somebody comes up with the brilliant idea to take the bones from the original Godzilla and use it to make a metal Mechagodzilla. So that's the general gist of the story. Godzilla fights, this version of Mechagodzilla. Of course, this Mechagodzilla ends up going berserk because the spirit of the original is still in there somewhere, and it kind of turns on Japan. And so, without giving everything away, that's the central idea of what's going on. And then, so X Plus is considered to be the higher end when it comes to Godzilla collectibles these days. They certainly aren't cheap. So painting on one is far more intimidating than, say, a Funko Pop, especially this line, the Sakai line. And it's named after a master sculptor who has created designs of Godzilla in the past. And the process was that Sakai would sculpt a maquette for a Godzilla in an upcoming movie, and then the suit makers would use it as a reference when creating the costume to be worn by the actor. And this was done to various results of success. Oftentimes, Sakai's vision would be more streamlined, fluid, aggressive looking, kind of like how a real animal would look. And then the suits would end up a little off, slightly chunkier, boxier, because they had to fit a person inside. So that was the case here. This figure is sculpted in a more menacing and dynamic style than what actually really appears on screen. And I love it for that reason. But, there's also on the other side of things, there's plenty of fans and collectors that would prefer to have the screen accurate movie representation. So I get that as well. The paintwork to me was very flat. It's a really dark charcoal gray basically from head to toe, with the exception of claws, teeth, and eyes, and the spines. But it was so dark that it's like it looks flat black actually, and a lot of details, the texture is kind of like when you put it on a shelf, it gets lost. Nothing really pops. So it hid the details of the sculpt. I wanted to do something to try to enhance them. I got asked once why I would paint over such an expensive figure, and it really is because for as expensive as they are, it bothered me that they just get lost on the shelf, especially standing next to similar painted figures. So just adding even a little bit of contrast could really help change its presence on the shelf. I started off with a heavy dry brush in a white and gray mix, and it created more of a stone look, like almost like a polystone statue. And I really liked it at first, but after looking at it a lot, I wanted a tad bit of extra color thrown in. So what you see here is actually my second go around at it, and I'm really happy with it. It's just, again, a slight dry brush. Even with the different colors, you'll see a little blue gray and hints of brown as well, all done through dry brush, nothing wet. And I think it's just a little bit, it's enough to just kind of really make it pop in, especially in good lighting and decent lighting, and it takes it to the next level and it looks better on the shelf. So that's pretty much where I'll wrap this video up. You'll have video and pictures to see what I'm talking about. It won't be the last of seeing things like this on here, so if you like what you see, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Peace.